for piano and orchestra, and even the famous orchestra works like An American in Paris. So now with the Gershwin Initiative, under the auspices of the Gershwin family and U of M, it's a 30-year project. All right. They're doing all the concert works, then all the musicals, then all the songs.
So let me ask you a question about that.
Yeah.
Does that mean you have to relearn Rhapsody in Blue?
No, because
you have been playing.
Because I've been playing those since my first time working with Leo Najar back when he first came up on board in the early 80s. Right. Through Ed Jablonski, the noted Gershwin scholar, he got me access to the original conductor's score for Concerto in F. And so basically, I just sent a list of things that needed to be changed or edited or unedited, I should say, to Leo. And he just told the orchestra, okay, this measures out. You put this note here. So we were actually the first ones to do it, 40 years ago. Yeah. But then finally, they're taking our music seriously, like they do Beethoven and Mozart, and realized that Gershwin knew what he was doing as an orchestrator, even though he didn't study in Europe. And so we're the first ones to record the Rhapsody and the second Rhapsody. And I did the Concerto in F 3 years ago with the same orchestra, the National Orchestra Institute, which is a 99-piece orchestra made up of students age 18 to 28. And it's basically a 4.5-week intensive that they've done for 36 years on the campus of the University of Maryland. And it's a training ground for them these musicians auditioning for major symphonies all over the world. Mm-hmm. And they bring in principal players from, like the week I was there, they had the principal player, clarinetist from Philadelphia Orchestra working with the clarinet for the orchestra to get that opening of the Rhapsody. And it's just a marvelous program. And the beauty of it, and this will wrap up this little tale because the CD or streamed will come out in January, just a month prior to the February 12th actual date of the Rhapsody's 100th. The beauty of this orchestra and working with David Allen Miller conducting is that most of them have never played Gershwin. And so because they're of an age where they haven't been in symphony orchestras and so they're clean slates. So they're like, oh, this is Rhapsody in Blue number 520 and they phone it in, and they have no preconceived notion. So we say, okay, the tempo is this, move it. They are right there.
That's good.
So it is an ideal situation. Yeah. So, yeah.
All right. Okay. And Mike, before we get on to Tuesday, we'll do that right after the break here. But earlier this week, we were up in Bay City where Bill Federspiel had a shakedown band. And there were just a few people sitting in the park.
Yeah. We got Bill to do his Shakedown Bob Seger tribute for Wednesdays in the park.
How many people showed up?
We had over 5,000 people down there.
I don't know where you shoehorned them.
Yeah,
it was amazing.
There was people, they couldn't see the stage. They were way off to the side up by Water Street, and every pocket of that park was packed.
Yes, it was.
So it was a great night. It was a great thing for Bill because this was his Bay City debut.
It's the biggest crowd he's played.
Biggest crowd he's ever played to, because I think the first crowd he played this show to was like 7 people. And so we went from 7 to 5,000. So that's great. Bill, I hope you're listening.
I hope they liked him.
Yeah. Oh, they absolutely loved him. And I'm going to bring him back because I heard he does a Kenny Rogers show. He does
Kenny Rogers. And I've heard them both now. I think Kenny Rogers is even better than the Seeger.
Yeah. So we'll work with him on that for next year, possibly.
So I went backstage before he went out there, and he had his headband on.
Yeah.
And he was in his Seeger mode.
Yeah, he was in the Seeger mode that I saw at the Dow Event Center last time Bob was there. So
exactly. Yeah. All right, we're going to take a break. We come back. These two guys are in the studio because there's a very special tribute coming up this week. We will tell you about that right after these notes.
Hey everyone, Eric Crane here with Crane's L&M Appliance Center. Summer is here and the deals are hot here at Crane's L&M. Don't let that old appliance die on you when you need it the most. New, scratch and dent, and refurbished, we got them. Plus, get great rebates on GE, LG appliances, Frigidaire, and Samsung. And special no-interest financing is available. Get professional delivery and installation with service after the sale. See us today in Saginaw at 3260 Bay Road or in Caro at 1556 West Caro Road. See our hot summer savings now at Crane's L&M Appliance Center, where we want to earn your business.
Welcome to retirement. Now, replace your paycheck. To local financial coach Kevin Ray, this is what retirement planning is all about.
Building monthly paychecks, and how you build those monthly paychecks is going to determine how well in retirement you're going to enjoy it. So sit down and build a good framework, and it starts with income.
So build your framework with Kevin and the team at Insight Folios today by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
Why would you pay full price when you know that you can save money at RocketGrabPlus.com? Check out all of our deals going on right now, from Farmer's Home Tavern in Hemlock, the Ogama County Fair, music mixology events, applied training solutions, unique floral and gifts in Bay City, JB's Market in Munger, the Bearded Axe, Frankenmuth Aerial Park, and so many more. Half off? Yeah, it's true. And it's all at RocketGrabPlus.com.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
The 4th of July is an important holiday for all Americans. Hi, this is Joe Cordell of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. For some husbands, however, in troubled marriages, holidays are marked more by hardship than harmony. If you're such a guy and considering divorce, know all your options, including alternatives to divorce. We advise, we advocate, and when necessary, we litigate.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys, a partner men can count on. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
I'm Neil Cavuto, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Parent company Meta says it'll block news from Facebook and Instagram in Canada, where the government passed a law requiring digital firms to pay domestic media organizations for their content. Canada's new law intends to level the playing field between online advertising giants and the shrinking news industry. This also impacts Google and news content shared on its platform. Ford is preparing for a new round of layoffs in the coming weeks, according to the Wall Street Journal, citing people familiar with the matter. And a tiny Pacific Island nation is offering a digital residency it suggests could circumvent bans on crypto services such as Binance. For $248, people can get a digital residency for Palau without ever visiting. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lillian Wu, invested in you.
When America's debt bubble bursts, it could destroy the value of your 401k or IRA. Hi, I'm Dr. Ron Paul, and this is why I recommend gold IRAs. And Birch Gold Group is the only gold IRA company I trust. Right now, you can get a free info kit on gold when you text the word SHELTER to 989898. That's SHELTER to 989898 to request your no-cost, no-obligation info kit today.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
The WSGW Morning Team.
The WSGW online poll for you involves the cash mandates. Detroit just becoming the largest city, along with some states that now mandate businesses must accept cash as a form of payment. Cash mandates generally require cash to be accepted, or at least a kiosk available to exchange cash for a card to use at a specific location. There's convenience, less operating expense, and security being cited as reasons for being cashless. Those that prefer cash say they don't want to use cards, they have concerns about security, don't want to pay extra fees. So the poll question is to get your view about cash mandates. Do you think there should be a federal law requiring cash mandates? Do you think states or cities should decide on their own about cash mandates? Do you think there shouldn't be any cash mandates at all? Or you're not sure? Head to WSGW.com, scroll down, find the poll box, and make your vote that way.
Your Morning Team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
And we are back with you here on WSGW, in studio with me from the State Theater and many other projects in Bay City, Winona Park, Mike Pacigalupo, and with him is the Gershwinologist extraordinaire, Kevin Cole. Oh, I just love picking on him. Anyway, this Tuesday, I'm right, this Tuesday, right?
Tuesday, June 27th.
A major tribute to a major figure in Bay City. Tell us how this came about, Mike, and who it's for.
Yeah, well, on June 27th, 7 p.m. at the State Theater, we're going to be doing a tribute to Betty Carlion. Don Carline's beloved wife, who passed away 5 years ago. And Don was talking about this after she passed away. And then, of course, we got hit with COVID multiple times. And then the project kept getting put on the back burner. And then we finally sat down and nailed the details down and got it done. And it's coming up next Tuesday. So we're excited to have this happen. And as we all know, Don is a big figure in Bay City.
Bigger than life.
Yeah, bigger than life. And he was a big figure at Delta College for many, many, many years. And Betty was by his side as the first lady of Delta College forever. And I miss her dearly. She's a great lady. I miss giving her box of Junior Mints every time I see her. So it's just going to be a great night and a great tribute. And we have our good friend to pay tribute to her on the piano.
Yeah. Don and Betty, I've known them a long time. And we used to, in the day when Don was president of Delta, they lived in the farmhouse that Delta owned. And you'd go to a meeting if you're on a committee, that met in that farmhouse. Each and every time, you knew that the first half hour was going to be on the history of the farmhouse with Don, and Betty was going to have some goodies.
Oh, yeah. Well, Kevin and I have been able to go over and meet with Don multiple times, and it always ends with we're leaving with something in our hand. And the one time we left, Betty wrote a book, okay, and it's 800 pages long. Okay, that's a big book.
Yeah.
Okay, but it's all about her life, and it's about notes that it's almost like her diary. Okay, it's fantastic. I've been reading like a segment each night because each segment is probably 6 pages. Okay, I got a long way to go yet, but we would always leave with something. And the last time, I think it was peanut butter chocolate squares. Oh my God, they were. I mean. Yeah. I was going to go in the kitchen and grab the whole tray. They were fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so this tribute concert, first of all, is there a cost?
$15 is a ticket price for the concert. So it's very minimal and very affordable as well.
And what time?
Show starts at 7 p.m. and you can get tickets at the State Theater box office by going in or calling the box office at 989-892-2660 or going on the website at statetheaterbaycity.com.
So, Mr. Gershwinologist, what have you planned for this tribute concert?
You can just call me Gersh. I think we're friends enough.
I like that.
Now, okay?
I like that. How about Kevin the Gersh Cole?
There you go.
There we go.
The Gersh. When Dr. Don contacted me, it was pre-COVID, and then COVID hit, and then we talked. He let me know that his wife, Betty, was a pianist, an amateur pianist, but loved to play. And music was a big part of her life. And would I consider doing this? And I said, well, of course, because I've known them just socially and at events and concerts. Yep. I didn't hang out with them just because a lot of times I just, wasn't in the area. But that's of no matter. I know the impact that both Dr. Don and Betty have had. And I also told Dr. Don right away, I said, well, I have a special kinship to the name Betty. And he said, well, how is that? And I said, well, because my mother is Betty. So I said, I seem to gravitate to, I know a lot of Bettys in my life. So in planning this program, the only guidance he truly gave me, well, it's actually 2 things. He said, I would like my grandson, Will Carline, who's a Broadway performer, to sing the songs that were special to Betty and myself. So Will Carline, who is a Broadway performer, he was in the most recent, that Harry Potter 2-part play on Broadway, and he's got credentials a mile long. So he's flying in, and I'm looking forward to working with him. And also a trumpeter by the name of Tom Freewald is going to be playing a piece on the program. But I said to Dr. Don, I said, well, can you give me any guidance on what's the impression you want people to have through music to honor your wife? And this is what he said to me. He goes, I want it to be all about romance. And I looked at him and I said, you picked the right guy.
Yeah.
So,
gee, what a surprise.
Oh, so, I'll be doing some Gershwin, of course, but also some Irving Berlin, and of course, Jerome Kern, who wrote some of the most beautiful romantic ballads. And I decided.
Are you solo on stage, or are you gonna?
Yeah, I'm solo on stage, but I'll accompany, of course, Will and
You'll
Tom.
have a couple of pieces.
Yep. But I said I need to end with something whiz bang, and I said, would you be opposed to me doing the solo version, Gershwin's original, all his notes of the Rhapsody in Blue to close the evening? Oh, I would love that. I said, okay, you got it. So the trick, though, is, Art and Mike, as you probably well know, all last week I'm playing the piano and orchestra version, which means, there are sections where I don't play, or I play something different with the orchestra. So now, in the last couple of days, I said, okay, you got to play the orchestra parts too. And it's a hard arrangement that I haven't played in this area in quite a while. And it'll be the only time, to my knowledge, that I'll be playing it this year in our area. So I encourage people to come and hear it, because it is an Olympic event for me. And I'm sure you'll get a kick out of watching the physicality, as well as just loving the tunes that we all know and love from the Rhapsody in Blue, which will be celebrating its 100th year come February of 2024.
It's the question that I always have is, will Steinway bring in
Well, no, Steinway doesn't. Mike and the State Theater do, and Dr. Carline. Yeah, we'll be bringing in the 9-foot Steinway that I normally have for the Coal in Your Stocking Christmas show. And as I'm always telling people, if you really want to hear that piano and hear me play in the best possible setting, that acoustically gives the music room to blossom, but it's intimate, the State Theater is the best place.
Absolutely.
Because it's like a miniature concert hall. Carnegie Hall is Carnegie Hall, but then they also have the Weil Recital Hall. And I've seen things there, and it's up close and personal. And it's beautiful.
There's no bad seats.
Oh, no bad seats. And no bad, as far as the audio, the piano just will surround you. So I encourage everyone. And at that ticket price, it's general admission. So come early, but don't stay late. And get a great seat. But I think you'll really enjoy this tribute, whether you knew Betty Carline or not. It's not the point. The point is we are sharing the type of person she was through the music.
Reserve seats or general admission?
No, it is general admission.
General admission.
And I just want to say,
early.
Yeah, please come early and get your good seats up front. But I do want to say that Kevin just mentioned this might be the only time that the Rhapsodies played in Bay City before the 100th anniversary. Don't bet on it.
You heard it first here, folks.
Oh no. Okay.
Oh, I love
the Gersh will have to make another appearance.
You got the wrong guy sitting next to you.
I'll talk to the Gersh.
I love the fact that I'm not the only one that picks on him. We're going to take a break and be back with our guests in just a couple of moments. A 401k can be an important asset for many American retirements. You make contributions to your 401k every single paycheck for years, even decades. Its tax advantages and portability may enable workers to build sizable and important nest eggs. But its flexibility can also be costly if you aren't aware of potential mistakes. Great Lakes Investment Advisors have a guide that will teach you how to avoid an IRS early distribution penalty and full taxation on rollovers. The little-known weapon you can use, your most mistake-proof option, and more. Request your guide today by calling 989-835-7203 or visiting GreatLakesInvestmentAdvisors.com. This commercial shall in no way be construed as a solicitation to sell securities or advisory services of any state other than Michigan or where otherwise permitted. Topics should be discussed with your individual advisor prior to implementation. Advisory services offered through Great Lakes Investment Advisors, a registered investment advisor of the state of Michigan.
RocketGrabPlus.com. This week's deal on RocketGrabPlus.com is for the Ogama County Fair. You are going to get the ultimate fair package. It's normally $219, but you are getting yours for just $129.50. The ultimate fair pass includes 2 tickets to see Shenandoah and Noah Thompson, 4 weekly gate passes, 4 home-cooked dinners, and 4 grandstand passes. Head to RocketGrabPlus.com right now and snag your deal before it sells out.
RocketGrabPlus.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Go with your gut. Your dog's immune system is based in the gut. A diet lacking in nutrients can cause itching, scratching, and a weak immune system. However, there is a solution. DINOVITE, Dinovite.
It took a grand total of 2 weeks. The dog stopped itching, the hair stopped falling out.
Try Dinovite for free. Just pay shipping and handling. Learn more at dinovite.com/radio.
Happier, healthier with every bite. Over 1 million pets helped with Dinovite.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my Outdoor Magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
This is the premier kitchen and bath gallery showroom and design center studios of WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on the Art Lewis Show, in studio with me, Kevin Cole, the
Gersh.
The Gersh.
The Gersh.
All right, I like it shortened. The Gersh.
Is that like the Fonz or something now?
And Mike Bacigalupo, who most people just call Mike B because they can't say Bacigalupo.
You're right.
So we'll get back to the Carlisle tribute this Tuesday. Tickets are still available, by the way.
Oh, yes. Tickets are still available.
Them?
Call the box office at 989-892-2660 or go on the website, statetheaterbaycity.com, or stop in.
All right. What else happened? What's happening at the state and what's happening in Monroe Park?
Well, the Betty Carlisle tribute will be pretty much the last thing we do this summer inside, and then everything is outside starting with the 4th of July festival coming up, and then the major national act concerts that we have coming up starting on July 7th with Gabby Barrett and Ashley McBride, and then the next day we have Styx coming, and then a couple weeks later we have 38 Special coming, and a couple weeks later we have Riot 5 coming with Todd Michael Hall from The Voice or Glass Tender, whichever you want.
Right around the corner.
Right around the corner. A couple weeks later we have Joan Jett, and then Warrant and Nelson are coming, and then Rick Springfield will be there a week later. So we don't have much going on, but we have some stuff going on. And then of course our Wednesdays in the Park start back up again on July 5th with the Simply Queen tribute show. Yeah. So and we've had some really good crowds. Yeah.
Yeah, I was amazed. I mean, it was just a sea of people.
Yeah, we're expecting this summer to bring in roughly about because we also have 2 major bass fishing tournaments coming as well too. We got the Major League Bass Tournament coming in August, and then a regional bass tournament coming in July. And but all in all, we're expecting to have about 200,000 people in Bay City this summer alone, and we've already hit. With about 2 weeks into it, we've already hit 20,000 people in Bay City, and so the economic impact of all that, we're looking about $22 million to come into Bay City.
There's always been talk of Bay City becoming like an up north destination. This goes a long way, doesn't it? These concerts and that park go a long way to doing that.
Yeah, these because we're the stop from Detroit to up north, and now people don't have to travel to Detroit. They don't have to travel up north because we've got it. We got everything in Bay City, that they can do. When you have 5,000 people in the park and the concert's going on and the lights are flashing and everybody's having a good time, all of a sudden you see a big freighter come through. And the entertainer stops and waves to the freighter. The freighter honks back. I mean, it's a good time in Bay City when that happens.
Well, and I asked Mike, I said, hey, with the Bob Seger tribute concert, I said, was there any boat traffic?
Yeah, there were boats, small boats.
Yeah.
Bill said, hey, out there in the boats, blow your horns.
Blowing the horns and everything else. And, and of course we have the bridges, but let's not get into that.
Let's not. No, we'll just leave that alone.
Wait, that's just the cover charge to get into Bay City for the entertainment, right? Is that how it works?
At one gate. But let's not go into that.
That's right.
Let's leave that alone.
Let's talk about Betty and Don.
Let's do that. So again, Tuesday, 7:00, State Theater, and great concert with Kevin Cole, Gersh, as he's known. Now, when you see him there, hey, Gersh.
That's funny.
So I'm rewriting my introduction now. I'm doing that right now.
Thanks. Now I'm going to get my tombstone.
So wait a minute.
Kevin the Gersh Cole.
Wait a minute. Wait now. If we're going to take the Gershwinologist and call you Gersh, do I take the Hamlinologist and call you Ham?
It's possible.
Yeah, Ham.
I've been called that before.
Yeah,
and not related with Hamlish. Yeah. It's okay. It's kosher with me. That's all I'll say.
Oh, look at where we went. But
I've often said, Art, when I do my first Hamlish album, I'm going to call it Hamlish on Rye. I just have to.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. All right, we're going to take a break. We'll be back with the B and the Gersh after these notes.
Hey everyone, Eric Crane here with Crane's L&M Appliance Center. Summer is here and the deals are hot here at Crane's L&M. Don't let that old appliance die on you when you need it the most. New, scratch and dent, and refurbished, we got them. Plus, get great rebates on GE, LG appliances, Frigidaire, and Samsung. And special no-interest financing is available. Get professional delivery and installation with service after the sale. See us today in Saginaw at 3260 Bay Road or in Caro at 1556 West Caro Road. See our hot summer savings now at Crane's L&M Appliance Center, where we want to earn your business.
We're proud to make Pioneer Sugar for you and your family. Proud to be found in your kitchen, the heart of your home. And it doesn't really matter what you make with Pioneer Sugar, whether it's with our granulated white, light brown, or soft confectioners. It's the memories you'll make using it that will matter the most. Pioneer Sugar, pure and all natural, made from sugar beets grown right here. What could be sweeter than that?
What's the most important part of a retirement plan?
Income is king because we all need income. And if you don't have an income plan, you don't have a retirement plan.
That's Kevin Ray, financial coach at Insight Folios. Kevin tells his listeners every week about the importance of income planning, minimizing taxes, and strategies to lead a worry-free retirement. Learn all about that and get your own complimentary financial review by calling 888-885-PLAN. That's 888-885-7526.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/radio. That's ZipRecruiter.com/RADIO. ZipRecruiter.com/radio. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck, and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-783-8055. That's 800-783-8055. 800-783-8055.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Freedom Boat Club Bay City is having an open house on Saturday, June 24th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. at Wheeler Landing Yacht Harbor, 600 Marquette Street, Bay City, 48706. It's a great opportunity to see the marina, clubhouse, pool, and all the amazing boats we offer the members. We'll also be providing food and refreshments. Bring your family and come see everything we have to offer and take a boat ride. The boats are waiting. Why are you?
Hello, Michigan. I'm John Gonzalez.
And I'm Amy Sherman. We've got big news.
We're back! And you can join us Sundays at 1 p.m. as we once again go behind the mitten.
We'll take you to every corner of the state, sharing the stories that make Michigan great.
Find a hidden gem or a new favorite spot that might be located right in your hometown.
We'll go above the bridge and taste our way across the state.
Join us Sundays at 1 p.m. right here on 100.5 and 790 News Radio, WSGW.
All right, we're back with you here on WSGW in studio with me, Mike Bacigalupo from Bay City, the State Theater, Winona Park, and all those good things happening, among his other duties. And Kevin Cole, the Gersh, is with us this morning. This Tuesday, 7 o'clock at the State Theater, a tribute to Betty Carline. And so tell us again, Kevin, just some of the things that are going to be going on.
At the program, well, as I mentioned, we have trumpeter Tom Freewald, who's doing a number with me, and we have Dr. Carline's grandson, Will Carline, a Broadway performer, who will be doing 3 songs that have a special meaning to his grandparents. And I'm going to be doing some great American songbook things by Irving Berlin, a big romantic medley of Fred Astaire introduced Berlin tunes. And from the Jerome Kern songbook, what I consider to be one of the most romantic songs ever written, All the Things You Are, in a solo piano version. And it will sound absolutely delectable at the State on this 9-foot Steinway that we bring in From
9-foot Steinway on a 10-foot stage.
Well,
This
that's you're close.
I
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
Very close.
But I've been bringing those in for a number of years from West Michigan Piano in Grand Rapids, and this particular piano I have a relationship with now because I think they've had the same piano now for about 8 years because these are concert instruments, but people can purchase them. Schools can,
Yeah, they
colleges.
sold your original one. They sold out from under you.
Yeah, and so, but this one's been really a great one to work with, and like I said, you're not going to find a better venue for solo piano, and more intimate venue than the State Theater. So,
I think we have an idea for a show, Mike. Let's see if we can put this together. We'll call it the Broadway Connection. Get Cole. All right, we get Brian Darcy James, we get Vanderboom, we get Carlion, and we put them on stage.
That would work.
Something to work on, Mike.
There we go.
When are you guys available?
Yeah. Here we go. Yeah. No, it is something to be said about the gene and talent pool of our area.
Yeah, that
you
was
know.
my-
Yeah, and my coming back to the area, I never intended. I've been back living here since 2016 after 22 years in Chicago. So, it wasn't my plan. My plan was just to be here a couple years, help out the family with my mom, and she got well, but then my dad had passed away suddenly, and I just thought, I got to be here still and help the family. And then but we have a lovely little airport, and for a few shekels more, if they want me, they just fly me in.
That's where I fly out of.
Yeah, and that's what's been happening. And people will say, "Now, where are you based again?" I'll say, Bay City. Why do I know that name? And I said, well, a couple reasons. I said, we had an Olympic medalist, but we also have Madonna.
Yeah.
And and I said,
The Bay City Rollers, which probably are named after us. After all.
I said, but these tributes sometimes are short-lived because the wall is gone for that had the mural of the Bay City Rollers.
I've got to say this though.
Yeah.
I've known Kevin for decades, and here's a guy, folks, and whether you realize it or not, he is of international renown, performs with orchestras all over the world, yet comes home. You'll find him in a corner bar at certain times of the year. You'll find him playing the State Theater. You will find him doing things for the community. That's a plus for us, isn't it, Mike?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. We love to have Kevin at the State Theater every year. Obviously, we had to back off a couple of years because of the C word.
Right.
But, he's doing this show for Betty and Don. And then, of course, he's going to be doing his Cole in the Stocking Christmas show on the 15th and 16th of December. Get your tickets now.
I was going to say tickets are available.
Tickets are available now at the same phone number and box office that I said earlier. But, having him come back every year isn't a waste of time. I'm just going to put it out there. It's not a waste of time. It's a great show. It's sold out shows every time, and we have fun with it. So
yeah,
that's good.
We do indeed.
And there's something new every year.
I try because it's hard with Christmas music because it's just a finite number, and they're not writing hit Christmas songs as frequently as we would like anymore because we don't have the singers that used to introduce them. As Nat King Cole and Bing Crosby.
Yeah,
they introduced a new Dinah Shore. They introduced Christmas to Andy Williams. We're on it. But that's hard these days. But I will mention one thing as a tease, though, because we brought up a corner bar, is that come December, Chet's will have their 10th anniversary. So I'm working with Matt Sherwinski to come up with some really inventive and fun programming for their 10th year. So just stay tuned to that.
Mm-hmm. Keep listening, folks.
Yeah.
More ahead. Tuesday, once again, let's leave everybody with the contact information for tickets for the Carlion tribute.
Tuesday, June 27th, the State Theater of Bay City, 7 p.m. Phone number 989-892-2660 and the State Theater Bay City.com website, or you can stop in the box office Tuesday through Tuesday because the day of the concert's Tuesday. You can be there today or Tuesday. And Caleb is there from 9:30 until 6 p.m.
Very good. What do you have coming up, Kev, besides that?
Oh my goodness. The next big concert will be with Albany Symphony in the fall. They're doing a big film festival with a tribute to New York, and I'll be a part of that. And then it'll be Christmas season before you know it. But I have 2 new recordings coming out. In September, we'll be with Sylvia McNair. We just finished an album of unknown, never recorded Harold Arlen songs. And for those who don't know the name Harold Arlen, we're talking The Wizard of Oz, Somewhere Over the Rainbow, Stormy Weather. But then the recording for the 2 Rhapsodies will happen in January, will be released on Nexus label.
He'll be back to talk about this.
Oh, yeah.
Again. Thanks for being here, Mike.
Oh, thanks
As
so
always,
much.
my friend.
Yeah, we always have fun.
Oh, yeah.
And Kevin, Gersh.
Thank you.
Gersh.
Talk to you soon.
All right, thanks.
Thanks. Let me take a moment to talk to you about McDonald Ford in Freeland, M47 in Freeland, a family I've known for years and years and years. But they want you to know they are also buying cars. That's right. You can sell your vehicle, and it's easy to begin the process. I want you to go online and email joe@mcdonaldford.com. joe@mcdonaldford.com. Tell him you want to sell your car. He will give you instructions on what to do. After you do it, you'll receive an offer, and then you decide. Payment, it's on the spot right now and includes all paperwork and lien release. So don't wait. Put cash in your pocket today. Tell your friends and family, too. Maybe they'll want to do it, and if they do, you might get a little extra. Send your photos to joe@mcdonaldford.com or just contact him, joe@mcdonaldford.com. Tell him you want to sell a car. McDonald Ford, 6790 Midland Road in Freeland, devoted to helping and serving you.
At Wildfire Credit Union, loan rates are low and cash is back. Borrow for the things you want. Consolidate high-interest credit cards or refinance a loan and watch your monthly payments go down. We have members who save thousands of dollars. You can save too and get cash back.
It's coming back round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend.
It's easy to open a new loan or move an existing one to Wildfire. Just call, click, or come by any Wildfire branch in Saginaw, Midland, or Bay City and ask for cash back now through the end of August. We've got great rates and personalized solutions for your borrowing needs. Enjoy the things you want. Save money with lower monthly payments. Plus, get cash back.
It's coming back round again. Cash is back. Tell a friend. It's coming back.
Wildfire Credit Union. Distinctively better.
Cash is back. Tell a friend.
New loans only, subject to credit approval, equal housing lender.
All right, we're heading up toward the top of the hour. Coming up next hour, we're going to talk about Medicare and Medicaid with Jae Oh. He wrote the book, Maximize Your Medicare. That will be next.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. The company that created the submersible that imploded on a trip to the Titanic wreckage says it's grieving deeply over the incident that presumably took the lives of all 5 people on board. Others who've gone on similar trips are speaking out. G. Michael Harris has gone to the site 14 times.
It's a fascination to actually see the history in front of you, something you heard about, something that had been gone for 70 years.
But fellow explorer James Cameron, who directed the movie Titanic, tells the BBC,
I was very suspect of the technology that they were using. I wouldn't have gotten in that sub.
it is still sweltering in parts of the U.S.
Some 30 million people in the Southwest continue to swelter in record heat and high humidity. Excessive heat warnings and advisories are posted across much of Texas. Josue Ostos works in a food truck in Austin.
It's very hot right now. You get used to working in the heat. Some days are hotter than others, but it's fine.
Weather forecasters say there's no end in sight to the record heat. Jim Crisula, CBS News.
At the moment, 65,000 customers in Texas have no power. A Ukrainian defense official says the country's military shot down 13 Russian cruise missiles targeting its territory as a counteroffensive makes slow progress. Correspondent Ian Lee.
Destruction lines the road to Velika Novosilka.
all that remains of this frontline town is rubble and memories. Sounds of nearby fighting echo down the streets.
Russian cyber criminals have hacked the California pension system. CBS's Stacey Lynn has the details.
Personal information of about 769,000 retired state employees and other beneficiaries was among data stolen by the hackers in the recent file transfer breach. The criminal gang responsible, known as CLOP, is extorting victims, threatening to dump their data online if they don't pay up. The breach has compromised hundreds of organizations globally.
If you drive a Honda, the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the automaker is recalling almost 1.2 million late model Odyssey minivans, Pilot, and Passport SUVs. The problem, a visibility issue with the rear view cameras. Honda says images may not appear on the dashboard screen, and that increases the risk of a crash. The man who wrote the lines to some of the world's most famous music has died.
If I were a rich man,
Tony and Grammy-winning lyricist Sheldon Harnick teamed with composer Jerry Bach for Fiddler on the Roof and other shows. Harnick was 99 years old. This is CBS News.
Need hires who dazzle without the hassle? You need Indeed. Their powerful platform helps you attract, interview, and hire candidates all in one place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
Your day starts before the sun rises. Once your boots hit the ground, you head out to a field, a barn, or a tractor. As stewards of the land, you know anything worth doing is worth doing right. At Farm Bureau Insurance, we've always believed in and practiced this same philosophy. From heaving bales and weaning calves to spring seeding and fall harvests, it's all about an honest day's work. Knowing your insurance provider is rooted in Michigan offers comfort. At Farm Bureau Insurance, the experience you get with our local trusted advisors is different. From financial security to a helping hand, Farm Bureau understands the experience matters. Find an agent who can protect what matters to you.
Find your coverage in Vassar, Millington, and Mayville. Call Denny Miller at 989-823-8493.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair. Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom, this is WSGW News.
Cloudy skies and 72 degrees at 10:05. Good morning, I'm Jonathan Dent. A Saginaw teen accused of killing his 10-year-old sister allegedly admitted to police how he did it, though his defense attorney is attempting to label his confession as inadmissible in court. The body of Namila Turner Moore was discovered in an overgrown lot last August. Police arrested then 14-year-old Jamison Peterson, who reportedly told police he choked the girl to death before dragging her body to the lot. However, during a preliminary hearing yesterday, the forensic pathologist who conducted the autopsy says the cause of Namila's death was inconclusive, meaning she may have died by strangulation or some other means. Peterson's attorney has moved to suppress the boy's statements to police. Both the defense and the prosecution have 2 weeks each to present their arguments over the motion. A Flint City Council member may lose his seat in a recall effort. A petition has been filed in Genesee County to recall Eric Mays. It was filed by resident Dione Freeman, who says she submitted the petition because Mays was convicted of disorderly conduct, a misdemeanor. In April 2022, the Flint City Council voted to remove Mays from a meeting, but Mays refused to leave. He was escorted out by police and later sentenced to 6 months probation. The recall petition will be checked by county officials, including a probate judge, to determine if it's factual, clear, and concise. Mays will have an opportunity to appeal through the courts if it's approved. Freeman will then need to collect signatures to get the petition on the ballot in the next election. A Saginaw Fire Department Battalion Fire Chief is retiring. Scott Yaw has been with the department for more than 26 years. His last day of duty was yesterday, though his retirement won't officially begin for a couple of weeks. A ceremony was held yesterday to honor his career of service to the community. WSGW News Time is 10:07.
This is Jason from Applied Training Solutions in the Midland Mall. We are the Midwest's premier self-defense academy. From our state-of-the-art digital firearm range to open-hand self-defense classes, we are building a safer community one student at a time. We offer concealed pistol license classes that combine both live fire and digital range training. Online at simurange.com and Facebook at ATS Midland. Applied Training Solutions, forward-thinking, on-target training.
Ski into summer, $500 richer. Skedaddle in to Saginaw Eagles Landing for your chance to play skee ball. One lucky guest every hour rolls to win up to $500 cash. Hourly drawings noon to 9 p.m. every Friday in June. Win hot cash prizes with Ski into Summer, only at Saginaw Eagles Landing Casino and Hotel. Real fun, real friendly. Visit saginaw-eagleslanding.com for complete rules and details.
WSGW News Time is 10:08. The weather forecast is coming up. An Ionia Township man is in the hospital after exchanging gunfire with county deputies. On Wednesday night, the sheriff's office received a call about a suicidal man. When the deputies arrived, the person was found in a garage with a gun. Deputies tried to talk to the man, but he became irate. They say a less than lethal approach was taken, but when the man turned the gun on deputies, the deputies fired their weapons in an exchange of gunfire. He was later transported to the hospital where he was last listed in stable condition. There's a big frozen fruit recall that includes a wide variety of products sold at Aldi, Target, Trader Joe's, and Whole Foods stores across Michigan. The FDA says Sunrise Growers has issued a voluntary recall of specific frozen fruit products linked to pineapple provided by a supplier due to the potential for these products to be contaminated with listeria. The FDA warns that although healthy people may suffer only short-term symptoms such as high fever, severe headache, stiffness, nausea, abdominal pain, and diarrhea, listeria can cause miscarriages and stillbirths among pregnant women. Any consumers concerned about an illness should call their doctor. It's a history lesson at the bottom of a lake. Around 6,000 ships have gone missing in the Great Lakes, but only 1,500 have been found so far. Technical diver Jeff Voss explores Great Lakes shipwrecks. He says the allure comes from the history behind the ships.
Technical diving has been growing because in the recent years we've been finding a lot more shipwrecks, but they're out in deeper water. So you have to have those technical diving capabilities. But it is pretty limited. Most of the diving community knows everybody that's involved in it. There are some wrecks up in the Straits of Michigan that are kind of in recreational depths that are quite popular.
When you see news happening, call the WSGW newsroom at 752-0790. It's 10:10. I'm Jonathan Dent. Now here's WNEM First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
For today, we see a high of 75 in the Tri-Cities, lower 70s in Flint, and then lower 80s if you're closer to Houghton Lake. Certainly warmer up north. That's just because most of the showers today will be staying to the south. We'll see showers in Flint, Lapeer, and across the Thumb, and could even have a couple of isolated showers through the Tri-Cities as well, but more of the measurable rain will be out in the Thumb. As far as our rainfall totals today, too, not expecting much, only up to about 1/10 of an inch, and those more measurable rain totals will also be in the Thumb. Now, once we go into tonight, any rain showers come to an end, partly to mostly cloudy with a low of 61. And for your Saturday, partly to mostly sunny, a high of 87. It's also going to be muggy, so we're still not going to rule out a pop-up shower. Otherwise, a drier day. The more showers at the end of the weekend going into Monday. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Currently, we have 72 degrees.
Now, the only local radio talk show offering you the chance to ask your questions and express your opinions from around your block to around the world. The Art Lewis Show is on 100.5 and 790 WSGW and online, WSGW.com. The Art Lewis Show is presented by Westside Decorating Center.
Yes, indeed, Westside Decorating Center at 5789 State Street in Saginaw. That is your home for all of your home decorating needs. There have been some, I don't know if I'd call them changes or catch-ups in the Medicare world, Medicaid world. We're going to talk about that and other things this morning with our special guest. He has written the book called Maximize Your Medicare, now in its umpteenth edition. I've lost track, but he is Jae Oh, and we say good morning to Jay.
Good morning, Art. Thanks for having me.
How many, what is it, eighth or ninth?
I've lost track myself. The current edition is the 22-23 edition.
Yeah.
New one coming out sometime early next year.
Many changes. I mean, you do this almost on an annual basis. Are there enough changes to justify it? I guess there must be, yeah.
Absolutely, Art. I mean, the structure of the book, the way that people think about issues is largely the same. However, due to the changing in plan, changing in prices, what you have is actually a very, very different set of conclusions in the book.
So, the book is Medicare, but you also deal with Medicaid, and you understand Medicaid. And we had some news stories about letters going out and qualifications and re-examinations. What is that all about, and why is it now all of a sudden newsy?
Well, the formal name is called Medicaid redetermination. That's the actual terminology being used. So what happened is as a result of COVID, there was a public health emergency declared. This year, that period has ended. Along with it, what happened with the public health emergency is that the qualification for Medicaid, which happens every year to people who receive Medicaid, gets re-examined. Your bank accounts, all of your financial statements.
For everybody on Medicaid?
For everyone on Medicaid. And that process was put on hold. Well, that process is being started nationwide now. And in Michigan, in our local listening audience, that is 9-page document. I've seen it as far as questions regarding, your financial resources to requalify.
Now, for requalification, is it retroactive? In other words, since they didn't do it for a couple of years, people that are getting requalified and maybe denied, are they going to go back 2 years or 3 years and say, oh, guess what? You owe us?
I find that unlikely. So while I'm not part of the state government, and in general, in the past, they have not done that. When someone, for example, they got a new job, they have access to health insurance from their employer at that new job. You don't qualify for Medicaid unless you have exceptions, and very, very technical beyond today about those combinations. That said, do they set them backwards? No. But if they find out, and if you are not qualified, you will get a letter which will say this is the date that your Medicaid benefits will end. And I can't stress enough to people that you'll want to keep this letter. You'll want to keep all communications from the DHHS, which is the Michigan specific name for Department of Health and Human Services. The different states will all have their own names, but you'll want to keep these letters because they allow for other exceptions, rules, access to health insurance if you need it. And if you want to purchase it, then there are benefits, there are lower premiums, and the Affordable Care Act, otherwise known as Obamacare. And so it's not necessarily negative but it's important to keep these letters if you get them from the state.
So have these letters gone out, or are they in the review process now, or both?
Both. So the review process has already begun. So meaning the people who are on Medicaid are receiving these letters in Michigan for sure. Because like I said, because I've seen the letter from actual people. And it's daunting, to be candid. I looked through it. I was stunned because of the number and types of questions. It is quite comprehensive and difficult to gather all the information. This is not something that will be easily gathered just by clicking your, snapping your fingers.
This letter you're talking about, just to be clear here, the letter you're talking about with all these questions is not the determination, it's the inquiry. Is that right?
It's the inquiry, but it's part of the determination.
Eventually it becomes part of the term, but this is not a letter that says you are cut off.
No. You need to answer these questions first. If you do not, the important thing here is that if you do not answer the question, then you will be automatically rolled off.
Yeah.
And to give you an idea how big this is, you're talking about nationwide, approximately 90 million people are on Medicaid. 90 million. And
really,
at any point in time, 20% are scheduled to be rolled off.
Wow.
So you're and then in addition, I think that
that's almost a quarter of the population.
That is right.
Whoa.
So you're talking about the fact that Michigan is a good state for Medicaid. That said, what I find is that the estimates and I've seen published estimates, let's call it a fifth, that's something like 17, 18 million. I actually believe that number is low. And the reason it is low is a nuance that many people don't understand, why I appreciate, you having me here today, is that if you got a new job as a result of coming out of COVID, and that employer offers health insurance benefits, you can't simultaneously be on Medicaid and be offered.
So it's not a choice. If your employer offers the insurance and you choose not to take it, you're going to lose your Medicaid.
That is correct. And then you will have a problem. You'll have a problem that I can't resolve at that point. And so it's important because in addition to that is, let's say you had purchased health insurance privately and used the advanced premium tax credit, which lowers your premium, lowers your deductible out-of-pocket maximum. And then you get a new job and that employer offers you health insurance. You cannot reject the employer-sponsored and keep your Affordable Care Act premium, which could be as low as zero, that you also need to relinquish. And that is actually a tax problem. Even though I'm not an accountant, you are taking a tax credit to which you're not entitled. So as a result, the IRS has the right to claim back this tax credit that you've claimed.
Ouch.
Yeah. This is a nuance that many people don't know about. For example, there are many nuances, of course, because people don't understand that the nature of Medicaid and Medicaid expansion, otherwise known as the Affordable Care Act, includes tax credits.
Amazing. It's just amazing. That's why he's here, folks. And we'll be back with more. If you have any questions about Medicare, Medicaid, you can give us a call, 989-752-6111.
Spring has sprung, and we're officially ready to rock at Shamrock Dairy Bar in Bay City. Shamrock Dairy Bar has everything all ice cream lovers are looking for. 5 different types of sundaes, hand-dipped and soft-served ice cream, floats, shakes, and more. On top of all of those delicious favorites, we're excited to introduce the first Shamrock signature item on our menu, our Shamrock Sundae. So come, satisfy that sweet tooth at Shamrock Dairy Bar in Bay City, located next to Ideal Party Store on Johnson Street.
She's moving to Georgia.
Jada's podiatry clinic's top nurse quit, leaving her business toes up.
We've got 6 procedures and 3 major surgeries in the next 2 days.
She needs a new RN who can think on their feet.
There's no way I can do all these procedures on my own.
Indeed can help her hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
He might not have a badge, but we have faith in his killer instinct. Celebrate the 10th anniversary of famed detective priest, Father Brown. Stream the new season now, only on BritBox.
That sounds like a marvelous plan.
Plus, watch even more unofficial detectives in much-loved series, including Agatha Christie's Marple, Murder in Provence, and more. Expect intriguing mystery. Expect the Undetectives. Start streaming today at BritBox.com.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
I'm Stuart Varney, and this is the Fox Business Report.
Stocks opening lower on Wall Street. One of the big winners today, used car retailer CarMax, jumping some 9%.
This is a 9-month high for the stock. Earnings were better than expected, but it's not all rainbows right now. CarMax says affordability is a challenge. High interest rates, low consumer confidence, but they're cost cutting.
Fox's Lauren Simonetti and two of the wealthiest men in the world say they're ready for a cage fight. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg agreeing to the throwdown in a social media back and forth. And while some bystanders think it's a joke, one of the biggest names in combat sports doesn't. UFC President Dana White told TMZ Sports he spoke with both multi-billionaires Wednesday night and said both guys are absolutely dead serious about this. That's your Fox Business Report. I'm Lilian Wu, invested in you.
At Simply Safe, we design award-winning security to protect every inch of your home. It's easy to set up yourself, and now there's an even easier option. Have an expert do it for you with Simply Safe Pro Install. Always protecting, never a contract. 2 easy installation options, backed by 24/7 professional monitoring for less than $1 a day. Get 20% off any new system with Fast Protect monitoring at simplysafe.com/radio. There's no safe like Simply Safe.
Listen to this station anytime, anywhere on Odyssey. Odyssey is your new audio home for all the music, news, sports, and podcasts that matter to you. Odyssey. That's AUDACY.
This is a test. WSGW is conducting a test of the emergency alert system. This is only a test. This is a test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. Equipment that can quickly warn you during emergencies is being tested. WSGW serves Saginaw, Bay, and Midland counties, along with the surrounding area. This concludes this test of the emergency alert system on WSGW. The WSGW Morning Team.
The story we have concerning the Rolling Stones is the announcement of a new limited edition Start Me Up Keurig coffee kit for just $139.99. Only 400 of these specialty coffee makers have been made. Each comes also with a special Spotify playlist handpicked by the Rolling Stones so you can listen to their music while you drink out of their coffee machine. Would it be rude for me to suggest that, considering the advanced maturity of the Rolling Stones, that perhaps a Geritol Or maybe a prune juicer would have been more appropriate to attach.
The Morning Team, 5:30 to 9 on WSGW.
And we're back with you here on WSGW, the Art Lewis Show. Nice to have you with us on this Friday morning. In studio with us, Jae Oh, who has authored the book Maximize Your Medicare, now in its 8th, 9th, 10th, 12th, umpteenth printing. We don't know, but it's been a while. It's been, what, at least 10 years, hasn't it?
That's right. 2013 was.
It was 10 years then.
That's right.
Wow. So we'll come back to Medicaid, but let's talk about Medicare for a moment. Any changes in Medicare that are noteworthy these days?
Most of the news is about prescription drug benefits. That what you will see in the coming years are notable changes as a result of the Inflation Reduction Act that survived the budget and debt ceiling talks that was apparently on the table and swept away. So most of those things have stayed intact. There's going to be controversy always around prescription costs for sure. I don't think that's going to fade. That said, for Medicare beneficiaries, the key one is in 2025, which is that the out-of-pocket maximum for prescription drug benefits, for prescription drug costs under Part D, are going to be capped at $2,000 a year, which is just
Are they not capped now?
They are not capped now. There are multiple tiers, very complicated math of money inputs. But as I said, in 2025, there's going to be a hard cap, dollar cap at $2,000 a year, which is just of going to be incredible value to Medicare beneficiaries.
So, I mean, I don't know if this is a political question or not, Jay, but if we keep expanding the base of Medicare, what it pays, and we often hear that it's in financial difficulties down the road, it's finite. How are we going to pay for this? What has to change? I mean, I look at the uproar overseas when they wanted to raise their age to 69, and I'm going, we ought to be 70 here. You know, I mean, look at the actuarial tables. Something has to give, doesn't it?
You would think so, Art. That, like you said, the number of people on, for example, on Medicare, there are currently today 65 million people who are enrolled in Medicare. And next year, 2024, will be the year where more people turn 65 than any other year.
Oh, good.
These are the demographic facts. It's part of the reason that I wrote the book, which is to say there are the things regarding your personal body, meaning that how you take care of yourselves, don't drink Jack Daniels before 9 a.m., that kind of thing, right? In addition to that, however, there's the contractual understanding of how Medicare works, understanding that there are pressures and therefore there are going to be changes. I think the country is still going to grapple with that over time. There are efforts to try to rationalize, to lower health care costs systematically. How effective that will be is still to be seen.
I have another question about Medicare for those of us who are on it, and we get notices from the CMS or whatever it's called, that they've paid a bill, you know.
Sure.
And I just got one the other day for a procedure that was done months ago, but it showed the same charge on 7 or 8 different days. And I'm going, wait, that's not right. What does somebody do when they have a question about a billing? Do you go to the biller or do you go to Medicare?
The first stop is to the biller, for sure. So in other words, your healthcare provider. There are multiple parties here, obviously. There's the healthcare provider. There's federal Medicare. There can also be your Medicare Advantage provider or your Medigap provider. These 3 parties need to be singing the same song. Kevin Cole was just here, so playing the same song, which is that they must agree on what has been charged, how much that charges, and you must have a reconciliation agreement on who is responsible for what. And sometimes there can be administrative error. You and I are not going to resolve the source of that error, but errors can happen, yes.
So don't just accept it.
No, I wouldn't just accept it. And that is even the case if you are a Medigap policy owner, which is, for example, under Medigap for your viewers or listeners who do not know. Original Medicare pays X, Medigap pays the balance in full for most of the plans. That said, if there's an error as a policy owner, a Medicare person, you just say, okay, well, I'm due zero. But if Medicare has been billed wrongly, that is basically part of the financial waste, if you will, in the system. You've got your 7 line items in your instance. Well, maybe it only happened once, but there were 7 entries. The other 6, Medicare has been billed for.
And paid according to this sheet.
And paid. Now that's going to be subject to audit. Okay. Not for you, but at the healthcare provider and the CMS for sure. But it just goes to show you that the red tape, the moving parts, they are complicated. And for everyday people to be caught in the crossfire amongst these 3 parties that I mentioned, difficult stuff.
Now, you mentioned Medigap, and one of the Medigap plans, the one I have, which I've had for a long time, was Plan F. That's history, isn't it? Except for people like me, because I still have it.
That's right. So there are certain, and there was part of the changes. We mentioned, why do I have to keep updating the books? There you go. If your Part A and Part B do not read prior to January 1st of 2020, Plan F is not available to you. That said, 75 is the new 45. Let's just say, for example, you were on Medicare for whatever reason, Part A and Part B, prior to 2020, January 2020, it is possible to buy
into a Plan F.
Plan F today. That is possible in theory. But practical reality is most people are not in that situation. Therefore, that plan is not available.
So that plan is not available. And for those that didn't know, that plan paid everything. 100%.
100%.
What's the next best one in the alphabet soup of plans?
So under Medigap, the plans for people who are new to Medicare, the plans are lettered A through N. The most comprehensive plan being G, where you are responsible for the Part B deductible, which is over $200, but less than $250. I don't have the figure off the top of my head. Once satisfied, Medigap will pay the balance.
So that's the only difference between G and F.
That is absolutely correct.
Why did they feel it necessary to get rid of F?
Well, hard to say. The CMS didn't call me to ask my opinion.
I should have.
But I think that what it did, it solved some issues, which is it solved the fact that hypochondriacs don't go over visit the doctor.
I never thought of that.
And the second one is that it also dissuades the healthcare provider from saying, don't forget to come in for your monthly MRI. And I know that's an extreme example, but you can see what I'm saying is that Plan F, by paying in full, it basically created this
free healthcare.
Correct. This incentive that it did not intend to provide.
Yeah. All right. We're going to take a break. Come back. Jae Oh is our guest. We're talking about Medicare, Medicaid, and the like. If you have any questions, you can give us a call here on the Art Lewis Show, 989-752-6111.
This segment of our Community's Care is brought to you by the Saginaw Community Foundation. For the month of June, Saginaw Community Foundation proudly spotlights Partner Shift Network. Partnership Network is a Saginaw-based nonprofit proudly serving the Great Lakes Bay region for over 30 years, creating workforce solutions using community resources. PSN provides members of the ALICE population access to community-based success coaches and full wraparound services at no cost. ALICE is short for Asset Limited, Income Constrained, Employed. It represents families who are unable to afford the basics. Wraparound services include financial assistance with barriers to employment retention, such as transportation, housing, and childcare. Participants receive assistance with budgeting, financial literacy, personal well-being, conflict resolution skills, and more. Those in need are encouraged to call 989-399-0016 or email info@partnershiftnetwork.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
Babbel.
Babbel. Babbel. Évidemment.
Text radio to 64,000 to try Babbel for free. That's radio to 64,000 to try Babbel free. RADIO to 64,000.
Wesley is a truck driver.
I drive a truck and I love what I do.
A truck driver with IRS troubles.
They told me I owed them $43,000.
It got really bad.
Quite a few letters in the mail. They were talking about wage garnishment, coming after my house, my car. Yeah, they don't play around. I seriously thought that I was going to lose everything.
One sleepless night, Wesley finally made a call to Optima Tax Relief at 2 a.m.
Kind of figured I'd get a machine, but I didn't. I actually got to talk to an actual person in the middle of the night.
He found just what he was looking for.
Oh, they were great people. You need a team of people that know what they're doing. Optima Tax, they know what they're doing.
Optima Tax Relief came through with flying colors.
I saved an incredible amount of money. Happy don't even come close. I was absolutely overjoyed.
Take Wesley's advice.
If you're in any kind of trouble with the IRS, call Optima Tax Relief. Don't trust anybody else.
Call Optima for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
Hi, this is Mike Avery. You know you can hear my Outdoor Magazine show Sunday mornings, 9 till noon on WSGW. But now there's another option. Saturday morning, 6 till 9. Tune in for the latest outdoor news and information, hunting and fishing tips, wildlife and conservation issues, even some wild game cooking. That's Outdoor Magazine now on Saturday mornings too, 6 till 9, right here on WSGW 790 AM and 100.5 FM.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Showroom and Design Center Studios, you are listening to 100.5 and 790 WSGW.
Hi, we're back with you here on WSGW, talking to Jae Oh, who's written the book Maximize Your Medicare and is an expert on Medicare, Medicaid. Callers waiting for him, and we have Chuck in Bay City. Chuck, you are on with Jae Oh. Good morning.
Morning, gentlemen. Yeah, just a question. Of course, I'm on Medicare, but I know people who are on Medicaid. one particular that I knew that has dental and optometry services and all that. You don't have that with Medicare. And I also knew somebody that tried to get counseling services on Medicare, and everybody takes Medicaid. Nobody was taking Medicare for psychological or counseling services. It seems like Medicaid is a lot more beneficial financially and more benefits than Medicare.
I would say that Medicaid has extra features in there provided by the state of Michigan or the state in which you live, which are above and beyond original Medicare. The answer to that is yes. However,
and why is that? I mean, we pay for Medicare, you know, those of us that worked and paid for it all our life. We don't get the same, we don't even get near the same benefits.
the benefits are coming from a different source, meaning that they are paid from the Department of Health and Human Services.
The state pays them.
The state is paying.
As opposed to the federal.
That is right. So when you are on Medicare and Medicaid, for example, then the things that Medicare does not pay, for example, like vision, dental, these things are provided ultimately by the state of Michigan, not the federal government.
All right, but let me ask this because Chuck brings up a good point. Now with Advantage plans, there are Advantage plans that provide all of those things that Medicaid provides, aren't there, for Medicare recipients?
So yes, in the sense that Medicare Advantage, they can add these extra benefits to the Medicare Advantage plan. The answer to that is yes, Art. However, there are going to be copays, deductibles,
sure,
coinsurance, which do not exist in Medicaid. So the cost is higher, but are there other benefits embedded inside of Medicare Advantage? The answer to that is yes.
Yeah, there are, but people that are on that, I would never go to a plan that Advantage, because then if you're out of the system, if you're out of state, out of the country, out of wherever, you may have problems finding a doctor. You may have problems even locally finding a doctor. Going to that plan would bother me, because I know people that they get the silver sneaker thing with gym membership paid for and all these other benefits. But I think there are downfalls. I think you have to explore the pros and cons.
Let me just point something out to you. You can get silver sneakers with Medigap plans. You don't have to have Advantage plans to get it, because I have it and I've used it, and it works fine. Medigap plan. Yeah, if you have a Medigap plan, most of them will have silver sneakers on them.
That will be dependent upon the carrier. I would say in response, and kind of one of my very basic principles about financial matters, which is never say never.
Never say never.
which is that the degree of improvement, one of the changes over the decade of Maximize Your Medicare has been the dramatic improvement, the dramatic narrowing of benefits and cost between Medigap and Medicare Advantage.
All right, Chuck, thanks. Appreciate the call. Bye-bye now. And this is Cindy in Midland. Cindy, you're on with Jae Oh. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. I turned 65 in August. What is the latest date that I need to do for signing up for Medicare and Part B so I'm not penalized?
The latest date is going to be so if your birthday is August of 2023, the latest date is 3 months after that month. So September, October, November. That said, what happens, let's just say you apply in September for whatever reason. Your Medicare Part B would be effective on the month following, so October 1. Now, your question is off the beaten path. It's not the normal question. If you asked what's the latest date for it to be effective on August 1, then the last date is going to be on July 31st.
That's why most people are told to apply ahead of your birthday?
went again back to my favorite book on the topic, which is I firmly believe for people that it is important to know in advance the timing here, because there's new language that people must learn, which is not exactly the same as health insurance you've encountered in the past. And then second is that there are steps on selection to understand. And then third is that there is still bureaucracy and administrative steps to take in order to make sure that everything is in place, in your instance, on August 1st. And some of those are under your control, but the reality is some of them are not. You may need forms from your employer. You need help from you need Social
Right,
Security
and let me
Administration.
let me extend Cindy's question. If her birthday's in August and November is the latest, unpenalized, what happens if she doesn't make that deadline and applies in December? What kind of penalties are there?
In December, that's not possible, first of all.
Oh.
You would have to wait until the first quarter of next year. But for every 12-month period, you would be assessed a late enrollment penalty that never expires. And then it would be effective the month thereafter. So, for example, let's just say you waited until February 10th of next year. It is possible, but then it would start on March 1st.
And the penalty is how much?
10% of the then Part B premium. But remember, it's for every year that you have not enrolled in Part B and should have. And then that penalty, as you just said, it lasts forever, never expires.
Wow. That answer your
I
question?
currently do. Yes, I do have insurance. And I rarely ever go to the doctor, just once a year for a physical. Been that way for years. So I am fortunate, but I just don't want to, I have to pay for that and then to pay for Medicare Part B. So I'm trying to hold off to the last, till
so there's
to save a few dollars.
Let's talk about comparable insurance, which she has.
So we need to be really, really careful here. And again, people have thought through this and crazily written books for and then kept revising it. Don't write a book. That's Cindy by any means. Anyway, what I'm going to say is a couple of things and nuances. These are nuanced. You cannot have the Affordable Care Act at very low premium and be Medicare eligible. Cannot.
But what about employer provided insurance?
Employer provided, you can be. You can be. So you need.
I have insurance through my husband's. He's retired, but through his work.
Okay, so now you've now yet another subtlety. You cannot delay.
Okay.
Meaning that when you are the spouse of a full-time active employee, you can delay.
No, he's retired.
When you are the spouse of a retired employee, you cannot delay.
Okay. So I guess I better get going on that.
And now you can understand why Art has had me on his show over 20 times, because this kind of subtlety exists. Absolutely.
I am so pleased that you are on the show. Thank you.
Thanks for calling, Cindy. Have a good one.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye now. And we will be back with more with Jae Oh after these notes.
It happens after every commercial building gets built.
That looks great, boys. Wow, what a change. The owners are going to be thrilled.
Even after cleaning up the garage or shed. That leftover scrap metal can be a burden, but it doesn't have to be, and it can make you some cash. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal is a metal recycling company that'll pay you cash and recycle your metal for the future. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal also makes it easy. We can provide containers for industrial manufacturing facilities and small specialty shops for moving and storing scrap metals. Looking to scrap a vehicle? We got you. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal in Saginaw, just north of the Dow Event Center. Also located in West Branch, 1 mile off I-75 and M76. Schedule a car pickup or check metal prices now at rifkin-co.com. Rifkin Scrap Iron and Metal, recycling today for tomorrow.
Attorney CPA Joe Cordell.
Divorce forces a father to focus on what's most important, his children. You may no longer be a husband, but you'll always be a dad. In the divorce process, this comes down to three key concerns: physical custody, decision-making, as well as financial support. Each of these is important, and it's important that you choose a lawyer that cares as much about these issues as you do.
Schedule an appointment with one of Cordell & Cordell's Detroit area attorneys. Offices in Troy and Ann Arbor. CordellCordell.com.
He might not have a badge, but we have faith in his killer instinct. Celebrate the 10th anniversary of famed detective priest, Father Brown. Stream the new season now, only on BritBox.
That sounds like a marvelous plan.
Plus, watch even more unofficial detectives in much-loved series, including Agatha Christie's Marple, Murder in Provence, and more. Expect intriguing mystery. Expect the Undetectives. Start streaming today at BritBox.com.
Military veterans and active duty service members, you could become a certified cyber warrior with just 12 weeks of training at My Computer Career. Cybersecurity specialists are in high demand, and IT pros with these skills often enjoy abundant opportunity and a great lifestyle. Protect our people, liberty, and treasured institutions from cyber threats. GI Bill, SkillBridge, and other VA benefits are available to those who qualify. Learn more at mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP.
Have you Googled yourself lately? Are there negative posts from an ex-employee or from a former client? Maybe an outdated news article or sensitive personal information about your family? Search engines don't always get it right. For right or wrong, it's your reputation on the line. That's where Reputation Defender by Norton comes in. One of the most trusted names in online reputation repair, Reputation Defender has been fixing people's search results for over 15 years. Their cutting-edge approaches help you to wipe away unwanted information in your search results. They also promote the good stuff so that it rises to the top, helping you put your best foot forward. Your good name is too valuable to leave to the whims of a Google algorithm. Take control with Reputation Defender. You can start by getting your free reputation report card at reputationdefender.com or call 800-401-6681 to speak to an expert. That's 800-401-6681.
News coverage.
The case of the United States versus Donald J. Trump begins today in a federal...
The Presidential Records Act is not criminal. I took the documents. I'm allowed to.
Chaos erupted as shots were fired in Monroe Park.
This is their graduation day. Is nothing sacred anymore?
News.
A man allegedly being assaulted Friday night is accused of shooting two people.
A new men's shelter is set to open in Saginaw this weekend.
Some of these men sometimes just give up on themselves.
News coverage on WSGW.
And we're back with you on the Art Lewis Show, talking to Jae Oh. The book Maximize Your Medicare, available where good books are sold everywhere, online, and all that stuff. So we have Medicaid. People might be getting letters for redetermination.
Right.
How long do they have to fill it out?
There's going to be a deadline there given on, it's going to be stated.
Might be different on.
That is right, because they've got a long, very, very long list. Again, 20% of the Medicaid population is up for review based on the state in which you live.
And then the next question is, if you are denied, is there an appeal process?
There will be an appeal process. And again, you'll have to go through the state. It, of course, leaves people in the uncomfortable position, meaning that you need to have that appeal addressed. Otherwise, you could have some time window in which you have no insurance, not from Medicaid and not applied for the Affordable Care Act.
And we know through watching the tube how many lawyers are out there that handle disability and all of that stuff. Mm-hmm. Is it realistic to think that if you have to appeal, you're going to need legal counsel to help you? And will it help you?
Not being a lawyer, and even though I've presented in front of the State Bar of Michigan, what I would say is the practical reality is that if you had a very serious health issue that you know is going to require healthcare services, then it may be entirely in order, a good idea. in order to defend your rights if you really believe that you are entitled to Medicaid. That said, for others, if you are talking about and you have provided your full set of information, that ultimately I'm not the judge and jury about your Medicaid eligibility. The state is. And so it becomes more difficult choice in that situation, for sure.
Are all these plans age related in terms of their pricing?
Yes, they are. Under the, for example, under the Affordable Care Act, there's a limit. So, for example, if a 27-year-old is charged X dollars per month, then the most that a 64-year-old is 4X. So there are pricing boundaries built into the Affordable Care Act. That's prior to the tax credit, which can be used to lower premiums deductible out of pocket.
Depending on your income.
Depending on your income, your household size, your age. So it's a multi set of filters being used to determine what this amount of your advanced premium tax credit. One of my practical pieces of advice, very similar to our caller from Midland, is you can understand the implication, which is that doing it yourself is opening yourself up to errors which are in the thousands of dollars.
There a website people can go to?
So the official website for the book is maximizeyourmedicare.com. That is not surprising. To reach to me specifically, you can go to the professional firm, which is G for golf, H for horse, the number 2 benefits.com.
GH2benefits.com. Jay, as always, thanks a lot.
My privilege as always, Art. Thank you again.
Jae Oh in the book Maximize Your Medicare. Back to close out after these notes.
Where are you going, Steve?
Taking your car to Paintbull.
The body shop? What happened?
Relax. Paintbull's more than a body shop. They do detailing, rust proofing, even ceramic graphene coating applications.
Ceramic what?
No idea, but it sounds cool.
Whew, I thought you were going to Paintbull because you wrecked my car.
No. We just need a new bumper.
What?
Gotta go.
Get your vehicle looking great at Paintbull on Bay Road in Saginaw. We're more than a body shop. Visit paintbullrepair.com.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Yeah, I'm so stressed. Our business is growing. We've got people all over now.
Ooma.
What is that? Meditation?
I'm recommending the Ooma cloud phone system with auto attendant and more than 50 features.
Ooma?
Yep. Switching to Ooma is a cinch. Just $24.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Now you're feeling it. Find small business calm at ooma.com/radio. That's OOMA.com/radio.
All right, that'll do it. Thanks to Jae Oh for being with us today. Coming up, we have news from CBS. It is the National International Report. We'll have the local news, and then we'll be back with Focus. Stick around. We'll talk to you right after the news.
From the Premier Kitchen and Bath Gallery Studios, WSGW, Saginaw, Bay City, Midland, WSGW-FM, Carlton.
This is CBS News on the Hour, presented by Indeed.com.
I'm Steve Kathan. An immigration victory for the Biden administration in a battle with Republican states that made it to the Supreme Court. Legal analyst Thane Rosenbaum.
The states wanted the government to do its job and deport all immigrants with criminal records who are undocumented and deportable. Immigration authorities responded by saying they don't have the resources to detain and deport everyone, and so they focus instead on present dangers. The Supreme Court essentially said that this is an executive branch decision and not for the courts to make.
The court also upheld the federal law that's used to prosecute people who encourage illegal immigration. A year ago, the justices overturned the Roe versus Wade abortion decision. Today, abortion rights advocates are speaking out.
We've heard from women who've been turned away from hospitals and told to wait in the parking lot, literally until they were on the brink of death.
Colorado Democrat Diana DeGette. In Wyoming, a judge has blocked the state move to ban abortion pills. In about an hour, they open the new temporary fix to that collapsed section of Interstate 95 in Philadelphia. KYW Radio's Tim Jimenez.
Crews worked to get this done ahead of schedule. They filled the gap left behind from the June 11 collapse with 2,000 tons of material made of recycled glass. That was built to support 6 lanes of traffic, 3 in each direction, that were paved on top. All this work was live streamed so people could watch the progress for themselves. Now, with wet weather a concern throughout the week, jet dryers used to keep the track dry at Pocono Raceway were brought in.
The co-founder of the company behind the submersible that imploded in the North Atlantic defends the outfit's commitment to safety. Troubling questions go back to a 2018 lawsuit by a former employee. CBS's Roxana Saberi says there is an investigation into what went wrong.
In a statement, OceanGate said it is grieving deeply over this loss. The Coast Guard said while it will continue to investigate the event, it's now starting to demobilize some of the search efforts.
It'll be a weekend to watch the weather in some parts of the country where temperatures have been high and severe storms have already done damage. The Weather Channel's Stephanie Abrams.
The severe weather will continue through Sunday. It will shift today in the plains all the way to the Ohio River Valley as we head into our Sunday, and all hazards are possible. Heat helps fuel the severe weather, and we'll have plenty of that continuing in Texas.
An award-winning lyricist has died.
Matchmaker, make me a match.
Sheldon Harnick had a hand in memorable songs for Fiddler on the Roof and other shows on Broadway, often with composer Jerry Bach. He was 99. Checking Wall Street, right now the Dow is down 179. This is CBS News.
Hiring's a lot easier with Indeed. Their powerful platform makes it easy to attract, interview, and hire candidates all in the same place. Visit Indeed.com/credit.
The Eat Great Trail is back at the Dow Great Lakes Bay Invitational, July 19th through the 22nd. The new and improved Eat Great Trail features fare from 15 regional restaurants. Move between the 3 all-inclusive hospitality decks while following your favorite players. And dining on lunch, snacks, and beverages from across the Great Lakes Bay region. Tickets are selling fast. Visit DowGLBI.com today to purchase.
Ashley Stars and Stripes sale is happening now. Don't miss instant savings on select items up to $1,000 off throughout the store and online. And as a special thank you to our community heroes, all veterans and active military will receive 10% off their purchase. Plus, we offer special financing options for every budget. These 4th of July furniture and mattress deals are only available for a limited time. Visit your local Ashley store or ashley.com to shop and save today. Only at Ashley.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Babbel. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at babbel.com/TNC.
I always wanted to learn Spanish, but I never thought I'd have the time. Then I discovered Babbel.
Babbel's lessons are fun. They only take like 10 or 15 minutes, and in 3 weeks, presto, you're starting to speak another language, like magic.
I love that Babbel's lessons aren't just robots talking. They're voiced by native speakers, so you get the pronunciation just right.
It's incredible. After using Babbel, I'm ready to start having real conversations in French.
There's all kinds of ways to learn. Use Babbel's podcasts or games or videos. You can even join live classes with a language teacher.
If you want to learn a language, there's no faster, easier, better way than
Babbel.
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 Babbel. Évidemment.
Text radio to 64,000 to try Babbel for free. That's radio to 64,000 to try Babbel free. RADIO to 64,000.
Live from the 100.5 and 790 newsroom. This is WSGW News.
Mostly cloudy skies and 72 degrees at 11:05. Good morning, I'm Mike Percha. The family of a woman found dead in her Carlton Township home is offering $100,000 for information leading to the arrest and conviction of her killer. Police found the body of 31-year-old Megan Drumhiller in her home while performing a wellness check in January 2022. An autopsy revealed strangulation as the cause of death, though the circumstances surrounding Drumhiller's death are disputed. Her family says since the case has been turned over to the Saginaw County Sheriff's Department, evidence which was previously overlooked has reinforced their belief Megan was murdered. In addition to offering a reward, the family has retained a private investigator to assist law enforcement. Anyone with information on Drumhiller's death is asked to call the Sheriff's Department at 989-790-5423, or you can leave an anonymous tip with Crime Stoppers at 1-800-422-JAIL. A Michigan State police trooper who allegedly punched a handcuffed man in Saginaw could still face trial. On Wednesday, Bram Schroeder waived his right to a preliminary examination and will be bound over to circuit court. Plea deal talks earlier in the case's proceedings seemed to indicate Schroeder would not face jail time. However, Saginaw County Judge A.T. Frank kept it on the table. Schroeder is charged with misconduct in office and aggravated assault. A plea deal may still be struck at a higher court. A new partnership between Saginaw Valley State University and Covenant Healthcare will give the company's employees increased tuition assistance. According to the university, the program will benefit workers who enroll in undergraduate, graduate, or certification programs. In addition, Covenant employees who are enrolled at SVSU may be eligible for tuition reimbursement from the healthcare provider. According to Covenant, the arrangement will help train workers in a variety of fields they employ, including nursing, social work, IT, and business. The new tuition benefits will start with the 2023 fall semester. WSGW News Time 11:07.
There's never been a better time to go and discover this country. There's also never been a better time to buy a new motorhome. First thing, go to General RV during our Integra Motorhome Day sales event, June 21st through the 25th. Get up to 40% off Class A, B, and C motorhomes, making our prices the lowest in years. Save big on a new Integra motorhome now and discover how to have it all anywhere. Just head on down to General RV in Birch Run off I-75.
Who knew? Fresh air is a destination. Breathe in the glacial carved canvas of northern Michigan's finest golf courses and have your breath taken away by scenic vistas from tee to green. The perfect place to perfect your game in more ways than one. The waves, woods, and wonder of Bel Air. Escape the everyday. Discover the magic of 90 holes at one resort at Shanty Creek Resort in Bel Air and online at shantycreek.com.
WSGW News Time 11:08. The weather forecast is coming up next. The Electric Forest Music Festival is underway in West Michigan this weekend, and the parents of Gary Graves have spent years trying to find out what happened to their son when he disappeared from the festival 5 years ago. They've passed out flyers, and this year Gary and Kathy Graves have put up a billboard near the entrance to the festival asking for information on his disappearance. A $10,000 reward has been offered for information on his whereabouts. The owner of an abandoned eyesore in northern Michigan is now facing charges from the Michigan Attorney General. Here's Michigan News Network's Ryan Recker.
Attorney General Dana Nessel claims Donald Belcom, owner of Belcom Marine Contractors, abandoned an industrial barge in Lake Michigan off of the coast of Northport in Leelanau County. The suit says that Belcom first abandoned the barge in 2020, releasing oil into the waters. In 2021, he agreed to tow the barge, but instead left it in front of a residential property where it sank 20 feet from a residential dock and was left since. The AG's office says it's a threat to further pollution, and the Great Lakes is not a dumping ground or a junkyard for abandoned vessels. Belcom is charged with a felony release of hazardous substances, also a misdemeanor for trespass, marine safety violations, and placement of fill material without a permit. Ryan Recker for the Michigan News Network.
Police in Grand Rapids are investigating a bank robbery. Investigators say at 3:15 p.m. yesterday, officers responded to the bank alarm at Comerica Bank on Monroe Avenue Northwest. The suspect obtained money and fled prior to the officers' arrival. Grand Rapids police are looking for tips, which can be sent anonymously through Silent Observer. WSGW News Time 11:10. I'm Mike Percha. Now here's WNEM's First Alert meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
For today, we see a high of 75 in the Tri-Cities, lower 70s in Flint, and then lower 80s if you're closer to Houghton Lake. Certainly warmer up north. That's just because most of the showers today will be staying to the south. We'll see showers in Flint, Lapeer, and across the Thumb, and could even have a couple of isolated showers through the Tri-Cities as well, but more of the measurable rain will be out in the Thumb. As far as our rainfall totals today, too, not expecting much, only up to about 1/10 of an inch, and those more measurable rain totals will also be in the Thumb. Now, once we go into tonight, any rain showers come to an end, partly to mostly cloudy with a low of 61. And for your Saturday, partly to mostly sunny, a high of 87. It's also going to be muggy, so we're still not going to rule out a pop-up shower. Otherwise, a drier day. The more showers at the end of the weekend going into Monday. From the First Alert Weather Center, I'm meteorologist Matthew Mondro.
Currently 73 degrees under cloudy skies at WSGW.
Now, it's time to focus as WSGW presents the people, the places, the businesses, the culture, the area events and activities, all put into focus on 100.5 and 790.